Hello everyone. Today I will start work on this Nakamichi RX-505. This one is a better shape than the previous I was working on, and it's been released in 1989 comparing to the previous was 1983. Alright, so this is the second model from Nakamichi that has been produced for a longer time, significantly longer time than any other decks. The first place is Still Keeps Dragon. It was produced for 12 years, from 1982 to 1994, and this deck is on the second place. It's been produced from 1983 to 1991 or 92, I believe. Alright, so particularly this deck, it can eject, slowly reverses, as you may see. So we would need to lubricate the mechanism. Fast forward works, rewind works. Only on play it struggles to pull the heads. So next, as in previous decks, let me open and pull out the tape transports, and we will take a look what's wrong with this guy. But as you remember, there are quite a few work needs to be done to disassemble this deck because it has a quite complicated construction. Alright, let me start opening it. See you there. Okay guys, as you remember from the previous time, so we need to remove the top panel, which holds everything together, this one, and we have to remove the both right and left side panels to get access to the screws which holding everything together, and release the tape transport so we can pull it out. The problem is known, as you may see. Pinch rollers don't move. That's actually they are, but the other one almost don't move. So that's the problem. See, so we need to work them out, lubricate, and someone replaced the belt right here, but it was like some time ago. I see all brand new zip ties all around. So some of us was working on this deck, but they were not able to succeed. Alright, and with this pinch roller is something is assembled wrong, I believe. I would need to see. Alright, next, let me see. Yeah, see, it tries to pull pinch rollers and this cannot. Alright, maybe something else is wrongly assembled. Let me pull out the plate transport and let's work on it, and also we will check this mechanism. Probably we need to replace belt and lubricate. Yeah, it's a little bit tough when I move it, so we need to clean it up. So stay tuned. I will show just major steps. For the full restoration, you can fall back to the previous video I did on 505 when I did a long extended session how to disassemble, lubricate, and make everything work again together. See you soon. And here guys, I pull it transport out. This time I pull it with this front panel because we still would need to remove it, and it's held by these two screws here and these two screws here, right? And two screws on the back panel which connects back plate to the bottom. Alright, so 6 screws and disconnect wires. I got 2 cables from the tape transport here, 1 cable with the position port here, 1 cable here, I believe it's with the sensor, and 2 connectors here for records, and here is for playback head. This is a bias generator, this is for rise head, right here. Its position, it's like not in a very usual place. Okay. All right. Here you may see the same sticky old lubricant, which, yeah, it's everything works, but very tough. I would need to replace it. It's sticky. All right, so take a look. Yeah, it's require quite a force to pull it. All right, moving on. We'll work on this part, on the tape transport. We'll show you the most interesting moments. So far, let me evaluate the head's condition. As with every reverse deck, they are used quite a few. We'll see how they will produce high frequencies. All right, still, like, it's like 6 years less than the decks released in 1983, so I hope it will have a little bit more life. Okay, this part, yeah, it has connector right here, so I can remove the light. I don't remember if I was able to remove it so easily in the previous generation, but here I just can easily remove it. All right, and this is the black connector right here. See, right here, those black guy. And the bias is a white connector right here. Okay, 2 connectors plus 1 connector on 3-pin here, and 1 red connector for record head and white connector for playback head, and it's quite easy to access. You may see it has all Nichicon Muse capacitors, but non-polar. With polar and fresh one, the sound was just wow. Same as with Nakamichi CR7, as they share the same schematic, same NGM op-amps. Like, the only difference, it don't have this good calibration module. All right, we'll see. Let me work on it, and I hope it will come up pretty well. See you. Here, guys, while disassembling, I found, I believe, a difference. So you may see that this spring is now connected with these 2 clips, and I believe in the previous version it was just attached and there was some different construction. But I need to check my video, I may be wrong. So I'm already removing the front parts, cover, the rotating, the cassette holder. Now I removed these clips here. We'll remove one of these clips to be able to pull this lever, and then we'll remove these 4 clips to remove the mechanism, clean it up, lubricate, and assemble back. All right, also I see here like 2 new screws from the bottom, like they are holding this plate. I don't remember I was removing them in the previous version. All right, let me work on it, and I see you soon. Okay, everyone, I lubricated and assembled the mechanism back, and I used the service manual to short these test points and tune up the ports to set proper positions. So now let's eject, let's load it, let's reverse it back. All right, it's quite easy. You may follow my other video, but it's just remove this red connector here and short these pins to the ground one by one and adjust the positions on the pots, and that's it. And now it's fully lubricated. It goes easily, smoothly, without any problems, as you may see. All right, see you in the next part. Alright, guys, head's in better shape as I thought. After cleaning up, the heads looks pretty well, so I hope they will still be quite good. But the problem we have that arms which hold pinch rollers, they are stuck on the grease to the shafts, and pinch rollers now move only together with the shaft, and the right are even too flexible. Alright, so now I have to pull out the arms together with just shafts, then use vise, carefully work them out, clean it, lubricate, and assemble back together. Let me do it and see you soon. Okay, and if you will do it carefully, they will come like that. Now I can remove the spring, so that's the left one is taller spring and right one with the smaller spring. And now I will use vise to gently push the shaft slowly out of the arm. Someone may suggest that we can use heat. I'm not sure. It always did work for me without heat pretty well. If it will be too stiff, so then probably I will remove pinch roller, plastic parts, and we'll try to use some heat here. But there is no chance to use heat right there because the base has a plastic space for the shafts, and if shafts will get hot, you will ruin the sitting place for them. Alright, so let me work on them and see you soon. No, that was easy. As you may see, I pulled out and it was like quite an easy effort using vise. So you may see the old glue, it just like not glue, sorry, it's old lubricant which become glue. So now I have to clean the shafts, clean the holes, right, with isopropyl, and then lubricate and assemble everything back. And I will also remove pinch rollers and use some oil because they have brass bearings, and we will lubricate those brass bearings as well. And this deck also needs to replace an idler. It's fully cracked, like full of cracks really, and other parts. So let me work on it. See you soon. Here guys, and I'm installing them back, and now I'm tuning it, and to verify the position of the guides I have to pull the pinch rollers up into the working position like that. Here it's fully up, as you may see, and now I can check that guide easily goes into the, like my steel goes easily into the left guide like that, right, and into the right guide like that, without any friction. Alright, that means that I set a proper height for the both left and right pinch roller arms, and you can do like couple rise and downs to make sure that it will always get to the proper position. And as you may see, both arms now work pretty fine. They goes up and down, everything is lubricated, cleaned, and I'm ready to start disassemble to replace idler. See you soon. Here guys, I disassembled to replace idler. As you may see, it's well cracked, so many cracks on it, so it cannot work good anymore. I will be installing brand new idler from the source I trust. What else? As you may see, in this model they have two similar friction mechanisms, right? But these will just give a pretty minimal torque. A good thing, this 505, same as the X7, 9 and later models, has an additional friction arm. I will show you. I will disassemble to check it and verify that it works properly before assembling everything back. Also, as you may see, reel tables differ a little bit. They became like fully closed. I believe in, or maybe I'm messing with Akai. Akai has just like wings around it, but these are a little bit different from what I remember from the previous models. Right, and it has two sensors for both reels. One works for automatic stop sensor, and the second one works for the counter. All right, and there is no more long belt with additional sensor on the side because there is no counter, mechanical counter. Even in Dragon, it did have in the early models a long belt, and I believe in the later models they just like eliminated this long belt, and it works. Additionally, what I mentioned, just small frictionless spacers everywhere like this. Two comes below the oil washers from the capstan shafts. Each pinch roller has like frictionless spacers from both sides. Also, as you may see, these separate spacers, these four been installed on these 4 points here, probably just to level up a little bit the plates and make them more even. And these four others been installed between the backplate with motor and the capstans. So I have seen them from time to time in some decks, but not in this quantities. Looks like this deck hasn't been serviced before. Like I'm not quite sure because I see everything is in place. All right, so you know how to replace this, right? Pull it up and put a new one. All right, let me complete this work and see you soon. And here, guys, I'm finishing assembly. I lubricated capstan bearings, and now I put lubricant on the back shore and ready to close it. I'm installing 125 millimeters belt, and the old one is half length, and the old one has been extended already, and it's 133 millimeter half length, and it has bump here. Considering the quality of the belts, they are pretty close. The original a little bit thinner, and it looks like this is the original belt. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any sign that anyone has been here before disassembled anything, because all this, I just was confused with these straps, but probably these straps are just more modern because they are everywhere across the deck. In all places the same straps, zip ties technically. And that's the original belt. I will measure one with flutter. I may get back to the original. It still works, but when I try it, the friction between capstans was bare minimum. It was slipping quite easily, okay, between capstans. This one will give a little bit of tension, and they will tension the tape. But in worst case, I may try it just for the sake to measure one with flutter if it will give better results. Okay. So, and I did open this cover. I've checked that the back tension friction pad gets attached, that friction is good, and we will measure with my tape and we will assemble. Right? See you soon. Okay, assembled, and here is the friction pad. It sits right here, and as soon as heads will go up, you will be able to see how these pads will touch the reel. So you may see it right here. Right, and now we have additional friction. This change has been introduced by Nakamichi for the tape transport in 1982, I believe. So this lever has been added. older models like 680, they don't have this lever, and this sometimes brings problems. Alright, so you may see how it's done. Okay, and then it goes down and this lever releases and wheel holds by brakes. Why? Like that. Hey guys, after I'm assembled tape transport, it currently works. I found that Dolby B button don't fix. All other buttons works as it should. You see, this 3 dependent and this should work, but it doesn't. Come on, who needs Dolby today? Really? And that's how many pins. Like it's like many of them are 12 pins switches, others are less. So equalization works, so this Dolby switch doesn't work. Not sure what to do with it. First time seeing this not working. What's really wrong with this guy? How is possible to break it? I don't understand. Why? Let me think more about it. Okay everyone, I desoldered the switch, and next step I will be removing this switch from here, disassembling and trying to fix it. If not, probably I will reuse one of these switches just to replace them. Let me see. No, this is different. That one different. So they put so many different switches, I even don't know. Okay, let's see what I can do with that, but it will be story for tomorrow. For today I'm done. Thanks for your attention. See you in my next part. Bye bye. Okay everyone, I have switch disassembled and I have to use the magnifying glass to show you how small the piece is. You see, that's the small plastic piece which gets broken, and it's not, it was supposed to hold those pin inside and it doesn't. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking if I can glue this small piece back, or I will just like heat install this teeny piece of metal I just prepared. Alright, let me try one other option. Let's see how it will work. Okay, as you may see, I was able to glue this teeny piece back, and in a couple of minutes when it's hardened enough, I will assemble it and we will check if it will hold good enough. So far super glue was pretty cool in many applications. We may see how well it will behave here. Alright, I hope you can see it clearly because it's pretty teeny part. And what is interesting with this design, the sliders, they are quite robust and the pressure is good enough to have these contact pads clean it by the friction force. So that's cool. Alright. Much more work than I expected, but I have a big plans for this deck. We'll see. Well, super glue didn't hold well enough, and I don't have any other choices. Install the, like I will use metal piece and I will heat install it inside. We have, I believe, quite enough space here from this side to have it. Let me see. See you soon. Okay, attempt number 2. Install this metal pin Hope you can see it well. It's pretty small for me. Even under the magnifying glass, it's very teeny. Okay, now let me assemble. Let's see if it will work. Here guys, finally, after a couple more attempts, it works and it stays in position. I hope you can see it, because the difference between position is exactly one white teeth bottom here. See? Alright, time to assemble. Hey guys, finally this deck is playing and recording, and there was a couple more issues I was working on. This pot was not properly working. I had to disassemble and fix it. Then while I was installing this board back, suddenly shortened power supply, blew out two fuses. I had to replace those. Installed the pads for fuses, so it would be quickly replaceable. Then there was issue with one wire when left channel was from time to time disconnecting. Now everything works, and I'm puzzled. I'm still looking what to do. All tape types has pretty non-linear recording frequency response. Alright, it's significantly different, like multiple decibels. And we may see right here, so 400 Hz. You see it's going down for a few decibel, and then it goes up with metal tape, like around 20 kilohertz. And on playback it's linear to 15 kilohertz. So something pretty weird is going with recording. I still need to investigate what exactly. Okay, and it happens on every tape type. Even if I install, for example, normal tape, all right. Here we're recording on the normal tape. It's better from the level perspective, right? So it's 400 Hz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like about 1 decibel, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, you see what's happening? It's already plus 3 decibels, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, like we have 5 decibel difference, even more I believe, 8 decibel difference, and it's pretty heavy on the high frequencies, and this happens on recording only. So I will be looking further to see what's wrong. That was for the metal tape for Sony. I still, let's see, 400 Hz, see 4 kilohertz minus 2 decibel I believe. Yes, minus 2, so it's 4. Let's go 400, 5 kilohertz minus 2, 10 kilohertz, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and it goes up. Really, it does great recording, but I don't like whether the capacitor is bad or something else. I will continue looking, so stay tuned. I will make this deck perfect. It has very good heads. Alright, see you soon. Okay everyone, so I was able to identify the root cause. Again, like it was incompetent changes. So someone shorted resistors in the playback amp. There was a path, so you can do it if your head is worn pretty bad. But they did it, and like we had like up to 8 decibel rise above 15 kilohertz. I was not able to identify it with my tape because it goes to 15 kilohertz only, right? So I mean like my frequency sweep tape when I checking up the response. So I removed the shorts, and DAC performs now really well. Like it's linear around like 1 decibel through all range on chrome and metal tape, and about 2 decibel deviation on the normal tape, with like a deep like somewhere between 5 and 10 kilohertz, and like it rises to 400 hertz and to 15 kilohertz. All right, now what interesting I want to show you. Many of you ask me like about the phase. Like, okay, we have tuned phase, but when I record, my deck records poorly. I told you about the shells before. The shells are like very variable in its quality, and its good shell is TDK SA, and as you may see on side B, it records pretty well. And here I'm just reverse it, and that's how side A performs, right? And now side B ideal, side A no way. It will be 2 decibel difference you see between left and right channel on 15 kilohertz. So even if you tune it up your deck, even like the heads has been like precisely tuned on the factory, I always will have this error, right? That's we not much we can do about it. That's how tape is going through this path in the shell. All right, let me check different tape. For example, let's go with this one, and here we go. Side A, side B. All right, side A. Should we check more? Another TDKSA, different tape. Side A. Side B. And you, not much you can do about it, really. Nakamichi tried to overcome it with recording azimuth, and lately they give up, so TDK may. Side A. Side B. This one is, I'm not sure, it's bad tape. Let me rewind a little bit. No, on this side it is having it's maybe damaged tape already. Technology is not, maybe in cassette deck technology is not the best one. No, this side is pretty bad. So on right channel for some reason. Reversing, and it performs much better. All right, and my favorite Sony tape. I wouldn't be able to record on the other side. I pull it out the top. So let's do side A. Reverse. here we can record, and it's very good on the face. See. All right, that's what we have with these tapes. Sony, my favorites, specifically high-grade tapes like UX Pro, and metal tapes. They are very precise. All right, let me finish tuning this deck, and I will listen it with original capacitors. I would not be replacing them yet, and then I will make my decision if I will replace them. So I check it up wow and flutter. It's fine. It's not ideal, but it's much better than in many decks I have heard. Right? I didn't measure with precise because I need to go upstairs and bring my audio interface, but from what I've seen on the screen, it should be pretty good. All right, see you in my next parts. And here, guys, I'm connected my audio interface and doing measurements, and that's the wow and flutter. It came pretty solid, around averaging 0.075. All right, as I told you, it's pretty in line with expectation with these bells and this tape transport. And now let me prepare. I will test frequency sweep. So let's see how this deck performs now. Hey guys, and here I'm testing TDKD tape, and here is the results. So it's finalizing sweep as I told you. So there is a rise, it's like 3 decibel to 20 kilohertz on -20 level, but at the same time it allows to keep high frequencies on the good level up to 16 kilohertz on type 1 tape, and this is kind of unbelievable. Even like at -10, as you may see, this rise gives a pretty extended range. And from my measurements, this came from these chains. Like, let me show you. Yeah, remember, for different tape types, Nakamichi uses these different correction chains right here. Right here. You see, these capacitors and resistors. These are playing this role in extending the range. Because here, before signal comes here, all levels are linear. And after these chains, the levels become non-linear, and that's how it affects. All right, pretty interesting results. Never seen this before. Maybe it's, but there is no electrolytic capacitors. Maybe just one. I will see. And so let me show you results with chrome and metal tapes. Those are better, more linear. I'll see you in the moment. And here, guys, it's TDK SA tape, and that's the results. As you may see, we still have like about 1.5 decibel rise at 20 kilohertz, and it's much better because originally it was about 5 to 6 decibel rise. All right, so I just removed all those magic improvements with like previous serviceman did, and now it's perfect. It has a perfect, as you see, it's very linear response, and like really beautiful results for this deck, even with original capacitors. All right, let me prepare metal tape. And here, guys, I'm installed TDK MA tape, and without Dolby at 0 level, it records flat to 20 kilohertz. Now let's see -10. You see the scale, right? So 1 square is 2 decibel. Probably tape imperfections. Again, I see this rise, so this may be a capacitor's issue. It's a little bit too large rise on the 20 kilohertz. I will see if I will replace capacitors to see if this will help. I tested with Dolby C on Type 1 tape, and it's ridiculous charts, so I don't like them. You know, the Dolby amplifies the error, and as soon as we have deviation like 1-2 decibel, it became like 5, 6, 8 decibel right away. No. You see, that's tape imperfection. Like last time it was going smooth to here. Yeah, again, right here. All right, and -20 chart. But it's still like ±1 decibel, as I told you. It's still okay after all those years with these capacitors. And now see -20 chart. Again, like I don't believe so. All my TDKSA and MA tape has bump here, not drop. You see, but due to this rise on the highs, I had to reduce a little bit. So I need to investigate more what's been done. Maybe there are some additional modifications has been done. All right. Let me continue working on this deck, and I see you in my next parts. Well guys, I replaced capacitors 4 in the playback amplifier. Alright, and it didn't do much for the chart, except it's make a boost at 17 gears as all NUCs do. Alright, this with new capacitors. But this rise on the highs are still there, so probably the problem in the record amplifier. So I will have to replace capacitors there as well. Alright, see you. Hello everyone. And it's been another couple hours, and I've been replacing and I've installed niche confined gold capacitors all around the audio pass. And sound become like significantly better with better pronounced at high frequencies, more clear range and so on. What I don't understand yet, I'm already like did another round check that I've installed the proper values. My playback level increased by 8 decibel, and when in the lowest position, I still have like about +5 decibel. And just wow. I'm trying to understand what's happened and why it's so big. Right? So continue my research. As you may see, it's already playing both sides, playing really well with a very good balance now with high frequencies and bass and so on. I'm already run test tape, and it's like plays all frequencies on the same level with slight increasing to by 1.5 decibel to 15 kilohertz, comparing to my tape which has been recorded on the brand new Sony KA series deck. Alright, so it means that heads are very good, Everything looks to be good, just levels are a bit too high. Alright, so let me do research. I hope I will find what gets wrong. But plus 8 decibel just on the simple recapping, it's just way too much. Alright, see you. Here guys, I was able to set up levels, so technically levels were fine. I used VTVM to set 1 volt on these positions here. And as in service manual, and then I set indicator, and that's the 1 volt position here. And if I will go fully right, so it will give plus 6.5 decibel on the output level. Wow, really. But it is how it is now. With new capacitors, signals just so much improved. Wow, you wouldn't believe me. Alright, I gained like about 8 decibel. I never met this before, really, never ever. Like 8 decibel. I'm not quite sure what's happened with these guys. They still be playing, but pretty dry sound. And now there are lots of meat and like good bass and good high frequencies and so on. Oh, finally. See you. And here I'm back. So I replaced capacitors, I tuned everything, and I still was seeing this peaking on the like frequencies above 15 kilohertz, right? And I get a tape I recorded on Sony 505 USA, and I figured out the peaking actually happening on playback. And you remember that I already removed shorts from the resistors, and it was not enough. So the heads give so good high frequency response that I had to remove 2 resistors for 290 ohm, I believe, or 220 ohm, and replace them with 1 kilo ohm pots, which sits from below the board. And I had to push these pots to the full 1 kilo ohm to be able to flatten up the response. And now I'm recording on type 2 tape, and you may see yourself how well and flat it at minus 10 decibel and at minus 20, and it finally records pretty well. And the drop on like 0 the level is pretty insignificant. All right, so but it took me a while to understand the problem and to fix it. I thought about amplifiers, I thought about response, I was trying multiple other stuff, but here we go. So I'm not sure, there was someone trying like to adjust it before, and they even like make situation worse. They shorted 2 resistors and they got plus 8 decibel pikes, like above 15 kilohertz, so they've been going high like that, like plus 8 decibel. It was just crazy. Now I have to complete verification on other tape types. I already did for type 1 tape. Type 1 still has some pike, but it's pretty minor, and it's above 20 kilohertz. It's not so huge as it was before. It was like 5 decibel, and now it's about 1.5 decibel. All right, so that's I'm not quite sure how this happened, but with this heads, they plays just enormous amount of high frequencies. All right, so let me complete the job. See you soon. And here, guys, it's TDK MA metal tape, and here is the fantastic results I'm currently getting. So you see, up to 16 kilohertz flat at 0 decibel level. So now I believe recordings would be pretty cool. All right, and I'm already get chart for the TDK-D. So that's what we have for TDK-D tape. See, 20 kilohertz here, like 16 kilohertz on -10, and 10 kilohertz on -2 decibel level. Here a little drop. But that's the best I was able to tune up from this deck. Really enjoying good results. All right, time to assemble. See you. Bye bye. Hello, and here is the final result. As you may see, how this deck looks. It's pretty neat on my mind. Buttons similar to the Dragon. All right, so quiet and quick. Finally. I believe I spent 4 to 5 days to make it perfect. Now I can record with Dolby B, Dolby C, and at the same time there is no difference between source and tape. Before it was a just nightmare difference, and that's because I straightened up the frequency response, and now this deck performs pretty well. All right, so that would be it for this part. I will make a demonstration with sonic and sound, so stay tuned. The only thing I didn't check yet is the auto reverse mode, so let me see if we will fast forward. It should automatically switch to the second side and start playing. Yeah, works. Good. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for visiting my channel. And see you in my next adventures. Bye-bye.